Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with Darth Mod. So, the day has finally come when we as Poland and Lithuania can actually use the Winged Hussars. So, last time around we saw off an army at the, sort of the gates of Constantinople. They've already sent another stack to kind of harass us again. I don't think they're gonna attack though. This army could use some replenishment, I note. And also, they do no longer have any cannons because I sent those cannons away to this army, as they're once they're done with this force right here, they're supposed to go on and attack Athens. All over here as well, we have moved the National Lancers, so they've jumped from Belgrade over to Sarajevo, which didn't have any defenses, so we've taken that. And with that gives us a pretty good like avenue of attacks against Austria once we're actually ready to go against them. I'll probably have to bring down the armies from Scandinavia, bring those down, so we'll have multiple attacks going in. I could see 2 armies coming from the north and 2 coming from the south. Maybe a smaller one of the cavalry going in and taking that, and then we progress through and take as much of Austrian territory as possible. And then we also need to see about what we're going to do against the Russians. So I see 2 armies really against Russia, because they don't have a lot of territory up front against us. So it's basically one army going directly, I think, from St. Petersburg, heading directly to Moscow. And then there's another one going for Kiev. And I don't know where the Russians keep all the forces. It seems that they keep quite a bit down here, so it could be that they are at war. Maybe they're trying to march armies through here. I don't know where they've got their armies. But Russia has been really, like, they haven't really done anything. So I'm not entirely sure. So Russia seems like it's going to be pretty easy to attack them and take them out. Or at least take their major centers. So take Moscow, take Ukraine. Seems going to be pretty easy, and then they don't have any more big cities, so that's going to be major blows to them to lose them early in the war. Austria has a bit more because they have a few of these bigger cities. They have Vienna, they have Dresden, they have Munich, they have Paris, and I'm wondering if they're on the way to even take Madrid. So that's something to see, but I really don't want to go any further than that. Like, the idea was to bring down and kind of, you know, the nation of the partition of Poland, bring those down. So once those are down, I will call it a day and call it a victory for the campaign. So we've kind of spent way too much going against the Ottomans, but I want to push the Ottomans completely out of Europe. And what we want to do is, once I've taken Athens, Greece, sign a peace treaty with them. Hopefully they'll, so they also release the navy here, or my trade fleet, so that can pass through and we can gain some extra money out of them. I have also, one thing to keep in mind here, for myself I'm saying this, is that I've sent away 2 navies to start checking out these trade nodes, to see if we can capture some Ottoman trade ships that are out there. The Ottoman Empire is getting 17,000 from their trade. So I'm kind of hoping to strangle them in a way right now. And I think a big part of why we had the lag issues last time was that my spy had actually moved down here, and they actually did have an immense cluster. So basically every single unit in a 40-stack army was split into single units, and they were dotted all around this area, which made it so incredibly laggy over when I hovered over that I thought the game had crashed. But it hadn't actually, and eventually I was able to get out of that. But with that said, we're gonna go ahead and conduct this battle right ahead of us. And most likely I'll be intercepted, but I will be moving to attack the bigger force. I think. But I think we'll be... No, we weren't actually intercepted. Interesting. So there's two strategies. Taking these guys on first. But now when I think about it, I think we're gonna attack this one. Completely ride it down with the cavalry. And then be ready for these guys to trickle in. I think that's a better plan than to attack the bigger army and then have the smaller one attack us from our back. It's probably a better plan. So we'll attack the farmlands right here. And you know what? We attacked them separately. So that's why they didn't intercept us, because the two armies are gonna fight separately. I wonder if I can fit both battles in one video. We'll see about that. Let's go ahead and autosave first. And then we'll see about the winged hussars. And it took a while to prepare for battle. As you can see, the sun is setting, but battle will commence. The cannons are right here on the high ground. Behind them we've got all the winged hussars ready to storm forward after we've given the enemy a bit of a barrage by the artillery. So you can see stretching far and wide the winged hussars, almost as long, or I think even as long actually, as the infantry line. So I've sent in some extra line infantry from the garrison at Constantinople, and then just in case everything goes wrong, we've got the grenadier guards in the back to back everything up. And with that, let's go ahead and start the battle, shall we? Right, so given the enemy's position, they have focused it over there on the ridge. We've got cavalry here and here. So would be nice, definitely would be nice if my artillery was able to break down the Ottoman artillery before my cavalry charges. And also, it would be nice if we could get the Ottomans to actually advance out of their defensive position, because they've made all these obstacles here, which could ruin any cavalry charge. So that wouldn't be nice. Okay, so they're firing back at us. They're aiming for the artillery, but they could very well hit the hussars. No, they didn't. Come on, keep up the fire. These should be quite veteran cannons from a lot of wars. We're blasting the enemy, but they still have their cannons ready. So I kind of want the Ottomans to actually advance down into the open ground, where I can successfully just ride them all down with my cavalry. Because as long as they're hiding behind these stakes, I can't really get at them. And so this was kind of what I was fearing, that it would be a long drawn out artillery battle. Luckily for me, because of the angle of the hill, the cannon shots aren't bouncing up into the winged hussars. They're being absorbed by the hill around the cannons. So far we have lost 0 hussars. But also, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't brought down more Ottoman guns as of yet. They're also keeping their guns pretty clustered, which I think should really... Well, now we've lost a hussar. Really be able to break down these. I don't know if they're all focusing in on this one, which probably is the hardest one to hit out of the batteries. So I think we'll probably get better result if we're aiming for the center one. Also, you notice how they've moved forward a bit now, the enemy. So they're moving in towards the open, but I want them even further into the open. So I'm not entirely sure how to lure them into that. Damn, the enemy artillery... This is why I definitely need to get the demi-cannons out of my arsenal. Because, well, they're getting destroyed by the Ottoman artillery, which is a much newer type of artillery. So they're sending forwards some cavalry, which I don't really like, because I want to keep firing on the enemy cannons and break them down, and I don't want to have to switch my artillery. I wonder if they actually noticed that I switched to canister there. Right, we're gonna punish this unit for daring to get this close by switching to round shot. And it should do quite the number on the enemy. And then, as they actually dare to come closer to us, also I need to tell my infantry to hold fire. Ah yes, they're bowmen, so it would have been worse actually if they charged straight into the cannons. But the idiots are instead going to duel with them. Might actually break one of these. There's lost a lot of cannons. Right, get the crap out of my way, you shitty cavalry unit, and let me get on with my artillery duel. Right, those guys are not coming back. Going back to breaking these. I hope it works as it usually does in Empire Napoleon, or like it does in Napoleon, that if you break the enemy cannons, they will, you know what, we might call the charge anyways. I mean, most of the units are in front. It's cavalry units that are in the back. So we might call the charge anyways. But I was hoping they would move into the more of the open. And I don't want to risk my hussars. And I don't want to have the charge broken up like this by a single shitty cavalry unit that's moving forward. They're sending the units forward one by one. Like, I guess clearly we're not going to be able to break down the enemy's artillery position. So we're going to have to charge it. We just need to get rid of this one and then we charge. This one is not going to stop to fire at us. So I want to hold and I want to prepare canister. Oh. Okay, so it's a bit back and forth there by the enemy. Gonna tell these to hold and fire canister once the enemy gets close. It's a bigger unit. As soon as I click to shoot canister at them, they kind of realize how devastating that would be, and they pull back. And now they're just sitting here like a bunch of morons, right in front of the artillery, smashing into their ranks. And I think we just got the captain there. Yes, the guy in the... Oh, that was his... He's got... Oh, he's even showing his underwear. His pink underwear. I don't know what the unit's doing now. Where they're trying to go. Oh, look at that. They're definitely leaving the hill now. So I really want to get rid of you so I can charge down. You can see the auto... There we go, they're broken. Right. Artillery will focus in. Actually, will hold its fire. And now the winged hussars will advance off the hill. And then once the cavalry has passed, I will order the artillery to open fire again. And then when the time is ready, we'll charge the Ottomans just straight onto them. Right, so we actually lost the battery over there. I think we've cleared. So we'll open fire. And I think it's time to speed up the advance of the cavalry. Where are you going? Ooh, taking a bit of fire. We rode through this one. Here comes the cavalry, charging into each other. Let's see, we are about to charge in here. Just as they fire. It's kind of weak charge there. I think it's going pretty well here. Oh, you know what? Since you weren't able to get in with the first ones, see if we can get you to come around and attack the enemy in the back. We broke the enemy over there, so you can continue forward, and we're breaking most of them over there because of the superior force. Yeah, they're all broken over there. But I want you to oh, there's loads of spikes. That's not great. But if you've already committed to that, then I want you to push through and then come back around. You're attacking these guys in the back. And I mean, right now, these cavalry, these hussars, have been newly recruited. But I think once we actually get them with a bit of experience, we could just ride completely through enemy units. And also, the charge didn't go in maybe as perfectly as one would have liked. We'll want to go there and want to go there, and I think we will have one going against the cannons, and we have one continuing forward, and that one will go against the Delhi horsemen. And then once the Delhi horsemen are done with, we will swing back and get these guys ready to charge in the back over here and completely break the center of the enemy, where they've got their Janissary Grenadiers. And that should send them away, which it did pretty promptly once they were charged. Not entirely sure why you stopped there. Let's force our way through the enemy and go for those Delhi horsemen. And I think that could just cause a rout on the side of the enemy. And so now the hussars are continuing forward. Enemy general was killed. We're going for the last unit. All my artillery focusing on the last enemy over there. The Mamluks trying to withstand the charge of the hussars. But it's not going too well for them. Same for the Delhi horsemen, which are also engaged here in melee combat with a superior amount of hussars. Let's see if we can just force our way through these two units as well. We'll do it like this. They'll attack each other's unit, and I think there we are victorious. But it definitely shows the need of a upgraded my cannons, because the enemy seemed to have a lot more accuracy, being able to dispatch, even though I had more cannons. Why is the fight still going on? Oh! We've got one unit of irregular turban dudes. And they're like readying up to defend this hill against all these winged hussars coming up. I don't know about this, chief. I think we're going home. Yeah, I think we're going home, boss. Run them down. Leave none of them alive. And yeah. Victory was achieved over this smaller Ottoman force. Which, I mean, we weren't too surprised by this. And I was able to do it all with just my heavy cavalry. And it seems like, I mean, some units lost quite a lot, so some units were down to half the manpower, but overall, the winged hussars stayed intact. And we destroyed this army of 4,000 Ottomans. But now we're gonna have to go on to that bigger stack. And I'm lucky that those guys don't actually have that much artillery. So let's go back to the campaign map, shall we? And here we have the results of the battle, and I actually lost, I don't know if I want to say more or less than I thought. 400 hussars seems like a lot, but not all of those can be hussars that have been killed. But 400 men against the enemy, which lost almost 3,000 men. And the winged hussars top the score chart, with the demi-cannons coming in second. Not really performing that well. One got 82 kills though, so that's pretty good. The best hussar lost 44, while killing 365 Ottomans. And most of the hussars, and quite a lot of them, got extra chevrons, which is good. The hussar that lost the most... Let's go back here, it's probably easier to see. So the one that lost the most lost 53, so almost half the unit. But seeing here, the losses weren't that bad. And the Ottoman force retreats far away up here for some reason. I don't know why they wouldn't go back to Athens. And with that, we have the second fight then, which is a charge. You know what? I'm gonna merge these two cannons. So next up is the charge towards the trading port of Thessaloniki. But that is going to be for next video, because I think with the sort of recap and the length of the battle, that's enough for one episode. So hopefully you enjoyed this, but there's going to be a bigger and better, hopefully, cavalry charge by the winged hussars. So you definitely don't want to miss that, so make sure to be here for the next one. And yeah, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.